Greetings. We're doing a little bit of prepping for D&D. Excellent. My sound is working. Alright, so you'll notice this title of this is maps. I have these three maps I'm using, and I am trying to get them ready to be used tonight. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at them, see what needs to be done, and get that process taken care of. So first of all, if you look at this one here, this is the first one. You can see they're numbered 1, 2, 3, the locations on the maps, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8. We're going to minimize this. So if you right click, brings up this radio dial menu, and you go to menu, minimize rather, loop. All these other windows I have open aren't important right now. We really don't care about that yet. When we get to the specifics of what's in each room, then we'll take a look at those. But for right now, we don't need those. We're going to go ahead and minimize this too. Right click, minimize. Alright, so the first thing we need is, if you look at this, and we go to click here, you go to toggle toolbar, unlock it, because right now it's locked. That brings up your manipulation window. We'll go to line of sight. Alright, so you'll see everything here is correct. This is a platform that goes up and down. So we can actually click on this by going back to play mode. Click on the link. This round platform is lined with guardrails and a small safety gate. Has a control panel with a single flashing red button. So that's why there is no line of sight. So line of sight is all set, and that's typically the hardest thing, is getting rid of the line of sight. Now in this particular case, they have these weird lines coming in and out, and so this is actually the player map. So let's go ahead and fix that. Since I don't have access to the PDF for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow this up a little bit, make it a little bit bigger, and then I'm just going to simply do a clip. I'm just going to snip this map. Save it. Right now, I'm just going to slap it into downloads. And this is called I'm just going to put temp map 1, just because it's just a temporary file that's going to be there until I manipulate it, and then it's going to be gone. Alright, so it's actually going to be crash site upper when we finish it. So now we go to our Pixlr, Pixler, LR, no E, Pixlr.com. It is free. I use it so much that I went ahead and did the paid version. It's a one-time, lifetime deal. And not because I really use a lot of the extra, but you can see all the different images and different things I've done with this recently. It's not because I use the advanced things that they offer. It's mostly just to show my appreciation and to support the software I use a lot. So you don't have to do that. Pixlr.com, it's similar to Photoshop. It does a lot of the similar things. So in this case, we want to get rid of those lines. So we're going to open this up. Go ahead and throw a quote in our quote box. Alright, so this is for our players. It has pins on there. So first of all, we just need to start doing some cloning. And we're going to clone up here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I don't want the grid on here. And the grid's going to be a royal challenge. So we're going to go ahead and minimize this. Go here to the grid. Select tool right here. To the right. And then turn off the grid. Oh, the grid is on the map too. Boo. Okay. Alright, so then it doesn't matter. I could also remove these pins manually, but again, that's the least of the worries. Alright, so we'll just leave the grid where it is. Go back to our here. Alright, so we're going to click out here to clone that. Get rid of the pins. And then we're going to get rid of these lines. Alright, so we're back to our map. We now have our map fixed with all these glaring, blasting lines in here. I could go through and try to get rid of all the grid and stuff. I'm not really worried about that. Once I put my grid on it, it's going to cover up these missing grid spaces anyway. So I don't care about the fact that some of this is missing. So now that I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and save it. Save. Save it as the same name, that's fine. So that software, I did something, I broke it somehow, and it will not save to the right place anymore. So that's why I put it in downloads. So now I take it here, put it in downloads. I go to a couple different ways. You can copy and paste it. I can also move it. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up my Fantasy Grounds in a new window. This one is a specific campaign. This one is late night campaign. So images. And then this is going to be called Crash Site Upper. So I'm going to take this first and move it to here. And now that it's in images, I'm going to rename it to Crash Site Upper 1. Then we close all these. In Fantasy Grounds, you go to Assets. So now that I've copied and put it there, we're going to go ahead and there's a little button right here. It says Refresh Folder Assets within the Assets window. So you click on that, and it will, in your chat window, it says Folder Assets Refreshed. Let me go ahead and move this up. So if you want to change the size of any window, Gotta unlock the chat window first. But then you can hold control, click the left mouse button, and then just move it. Alright, it's making me a liar because the way the chat box works. Let's see. Unlock position. There we go. That's why it wasn't unlocked. You can drag it from the corner, or like I said, if you click on somewhere, hold control, you can then move it as you want with the control button held down and left click. Anyway, moving it up here, I'm going to change the scale so you guys can read it better. Scale UI, all together one word, following the slash. Space, I'm going to put it to 110. There you go. So now you guys can read things a little bit better. We'll make it 115. Normally as a player or DM, it's down around 80. It can be anywhere from 50 to 200 depending on the screen you're using, what works best for you. Alright, so we clicked our refresh folder assets. Now we're going to go to crash site, and now we have crash site upper, lower. Okay, why is this white? Let me look at this. Let me open this up as the it's weird. I like the gray better, so because that saves me from messing with things. I don't mind the gray, but any hoozle, we're going to take this, click on it, left, and then we're going to create map record. What that does is it adds it to the campaign, just like this, boom. And then we're going to go ahead and close this down. And then what we're going to do is in this story, alright, looks like I put this as the background, which I did not want to do. Let's see, unlocked, unlocked. There we go. Close, there we go, that's what I want to do. Alright, so let's go to our unlock the dice tower, move it, because it's blocking my way. So this is under the link, The Doctor. It's a story about a UFO that crashes. Alright, so now we're going to go to the lair. Close it. So crash site upper, and now we're going to take this. I'm going to open up crash site upper because we want to put the link, move the links over, the little pins. And so you can't just drag them from one image to another, but all you do is just open it by clicking on it. Again, hold control, left click, you can shrink this down. And then take the drag record link and drag it right here. Boom, 1. Next, area 2. Next, area 3. So there you go, boom, boom, boom. Close. So actually, there's an easier way to do this, because I just realized, it's been so long since I've messed with some of this stuff, that I just realized there's a much simpler way to do this. So because if I go here to line of sight, there is no line of sight here. So all you have to do is, now that we've made crash site upper 1, I can then drag this image in as a layer. So we'll go here, we'll unlock this. Go here to layers. And let's see, remember how to do this? Yep, that does the link. So that's why it says the record link. Oops. Back to play. Left click, right click to delete it. Go here to the, here it is, the image. Let's see, back to this. So from the assets, right here, assets, you take the one that we messed with and just drag it and drop it. And then what we can do, we can close this out. We're done with this for now. I'm curious about something real quick. I'm going here to play mode, disable line of sight, disable lighting. Ah, that's why. It has weird lighting, so I'm not sure why. Anyway, but we're going to add line of sight because we want the line of sight in there. Alright, so getting back to what we're doing, click on this top layer. Go to layers. Now you'll notice that it has that. What we can do to begin with is go to tint. Slide this to the side because we don't want it to be this way forever. And we'll shrink it down a little bit so we can see. We should be able to go here to the bottom one. Okay, so 27 by 20, okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to hold shift so that it maintains its, no, so I'm dragging directly to the side, but it's maintaining its, the size ratio. Everything is the same. So I don't make a weird oblong out of it or something. Putting it right over it, boom, so it's the same shape. And then I can go to this guy. So now I want to change the A, which is how clear it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back here. Boom, there it is. Put this all the way back up to full, opaque. So now, when we go to our line of sight, see, our line of sight is still there. Everything we want is still where we want it to be. Except for when the players look at it. So we'll close this, say OK. So when the players look at it in a play mode, we can even do this. If you open up the combat tracker over here, we can drag a little NPC, a little monster or somebody on here. We're going to drag Nightmare, our little horsey. He's the mount of one of the players. So we have player view mode on right here. Enable player vision. So now as he moves around, opens the door, you can now see in there. The door is closed, he can't see anything. So we've got our line of sight. Everything is set up. It's all gray the way we want it. Everything is great. Now we go to, we're going to shrink this whole window down a little bit. And then we're going to open up the next one. Crash site lower. So just out of curiosity, I want to see, so if you drag at the DM, if you drag things, try to drag it through a wall, it won't let you. Unless you hold shift. Then it lets you move it around. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the combat tracker. Drag the horse over here. Open up the lock. Enable, there we go. Tamakio Squad. How's your week going, sir? It's going fairly well overall. So he can't see anything because he has no lighting. So we're going to turn off lighting. There we go. Boom. Alright, so okay, so line of sight is working well the way we want it to. Awesome, awesome. Okay, like I said, I don't like the white. So everybody check out Tamakio Squad if you have not already. Monday through Friday in the mornings. Mondays he starts with Gems of War, and Fridays he typically starts with Dauntless. The rest of the week I don't know exactly what he does, if he has set things that he does every day or not, but he does a lot of different games, some retro games, so definitely check him out. Really good with his community as well, and chat, interactive with the chat, so lots of fun. Alright, so what I was doing is I was just checking to make sure, looking at these other maps to see. We'll turn off the player view. So what we want to do with these is I like the gray. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually make the line of sight, or make the whole thing gray. So the easiest way to do that is to add an effects layer. And we'll go down to adjust colors. And we'll just turn down the brightness to about there. So now, as the players move around, we'll do enable vision mode. See, everything is gray again. Perfect. So now as I add different things to the map, the background itself will be gray, and we'll take a look and see how that affects our other stuff. We'll see. We try to keep busy. Thanks for the shout out. You're welcome, of course. But of course. Alright, we're going to minimize this again. Right click and then minimize. And now we go to the, that was a weird way of having it minimize. Middle. He was over here. Put this back to full screen. Alright, so upper, we're going to minimize that. Middle, good. Drag the nightmare on there to check and see how the lighting is. See, there's a horse. He's not visible, that's why it's harder to see. Plus he's white on a gray background. But as we click him, we go to the enable vision mode, turn off lighting. Everything is white, so we go to effects, and we go create an effect, all the way down to colors. Turn the brightness down. I think it was 24 is what we had last time. Doesn't want to adjust easily by the numbers, so that's fine. Oh, there we go, I got it. Okay, and now we go back to this play mode and we're good to go. Alright, so I closed it by mistake. starting with the one the players are going to be in first. Let's take a look and see what they say. So this one is a decontamination chamber. It sprays mist. I'm not really going to worry about that. This is just a plain square. That's fine by me. But the command center, on the other hand, that has chairs, panels covered in alien sigils, flashing lights, circular platform in center of the chamber. We're not using lighting because the background is white. So let's see. Actually, no, I could do the lighting. We could do some lighting, so we'll take a look. Lighting is not as important to me as the actual objects and covering up some of this line drawing. So let's go to our assets, minimize the player view mode, the library mode, and the character modes, and we'll go here to library, to our assets. Campaign is what I was looking for. Okay. Alright, so let's go to look specifically for computer. Okay, so here's some cool computer stuff. If I can add to this image. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one. I'm going to go here to, I can either do it as a layer or I can do it as a paint layer. I think in this case I'm going to do it as a bunch of different layers, because we're just, I think that will be if we can tweak each individual object as we want to or need to. So let's go ahead and slap this puppy right there. Boom. We're going to change, click on it, make sure that it is selected. We're going to change the size, keeping the aspect ratio. So as we change the width, it will change the height. And we're going to make it 4. Turn it. Alright, so now as we drag it where we want it to go, we can then take right here, holding down Control, then let you move it manually, and then we're going to stretch it again. If I held Shift, it would maintain the way it was drawn, so I don't want to do that. I want to stretch it a little bit, make it longer. Hold Control again. Oops, I've got the wrong one. So I want to hit Control Z. Make sure this is in the right spot. Let's jump back to our line of sight. It is in the right spot. Good. Now we're going to lock in this layer. So both bottom layers are locked. So they can't be moved like I just did by mistake. That's right. The freak out. Oh, he's snagging. This looks like he's freaking out. Anyway. Alright, so here's the computer. Go back to the layer. Go back to him. Make sure he's selected. We're going to hold Control. Move it. I'm going to move it in a little bit. I'm going to put it right here. So let's go back to our little horsey. So so what the players will see is that. Cool. I like it. I like it. Alright, go back to turn this off. Go back to our layers. I am going to move it just a smidge because I don't like the little black line drawing showing up. Alright, go. And then we're going to have some more. So let's go to our assets again. So I could go with some of these computers. I think instead what I'm going to see what they have for panel. I also have a couple other ideas of how I can use these. So we'll wait for that. So let's go to panel, see if I have anything that has these like floor panels. You can also incorporate some of this stuff. This is also one of the ideas I was thinking about, just redoing the entire floor as well, which is not that hard to do. And so I was going to use some of the things like these riveted floor panels or stuff like that. And just real quick, if you wanted to, say you wanted to use this riveted floor panel, that's what it looks like. It's actually very simple. You just say add a layer, add a painting layer, drop it here into the fill section, switch back to stroke. We're not using the stroke. Where is it that says don't use it? Use brush. There we go. There we go. So fill. And then you just draw out the area you want. You could even make it a circle if you wanted to here. Use an ellipse. And just, I believe it's Alt. Yep. Draw the circle out. Boom. Now you got your floor. And then you can then go to Edit Fill. Shift and mouse to rotate it, or Control and mouse to scale it. So you can control, so you can make these bigger or smaller depending on whatever one you wanted. You can also hold Shift to rotate it. So if you want it, looking like this, and then all you do is just drag it down below your computer. Boom. And there you go. And then your line of sight is still there, so that so the player, oops, let's go back to play. Yes, enable. There it is. So your nightmare is there. That's what it looks like now, minus these for the player. And so like when he's in the opening space, steps out, and then you would just add the guardrail. So for now, I'm not going to use this. I like the gray paneling, so I'm sticking with that. And by the way, I mentioned the grid. When you go to the grid, turn on the grid. And what I'm going to do is, like I normally do, is change it a little bit, change the color. There you go. So now, like I said, those lines I deleted are not as obvious on the grid lines, I should say. Are not. It's like right there is the only space that there's a missing grid line, and if you zoom in, you can tell, but normally you wouldn't even be able to tell. Anyway, so there's a grid. Turn off the grid for now. So let's go back to our panels. So that's how you would do the floor if you wanted to. I'm not going to mess with the floors right now. I might change my mind, but this is also a cool little thing here, drainage panel that I might have down in the science area, science lab. Alright, so here's the only real panel looking thing that's here. It shows a humanoid. So I'm going to save that for the lower level, and I'm actually going to throw it down here because this is a science lab. So this is let's see, move this out. surgery and laboratory. So I'm going to throw this guy over here just so I don't forget him. We'll make him big enough to where I can just doing that so I remember that I don't have to look for it again later. Alright, and I'm not really going to use any of these other things. You can use them as scientific panels and things if you wanted, but nah. So the control panel didn't really like. Let's try counter. Don't think there's going to be anything here I want. Oh, in counter is also showing up here. So here's the regular wooden counters, marble counter. See, I can use that for this if I wanted. So we'll throw this down here. Boom. We can adjust it later. Yeah, these are all encounters. Not countertops. Alright, cool. So let's go back to computer. Because I want to, and we're going to minimize this again. Right click. Goes right back where we had it before. I'm going to add some things over here and over here. I'm going to add some more of these. It's a little annoying because these are black, so it's hard to change the color on this, but not impossible. So we'll check. I'll show you. First of all, we're going to use this one, which is not black, and instead of making it 4, we're just going to make it 1.5. Flip it. We're going to zoom in so we can see what we're doing here. And we're going to come rotate it. Now we're holding control. And we're taking it from here and we're shifting it just a little bit. Boom. What I should have done is just gotten rid of this, and I probably will do that for some of these lower levels. Like, just get rid of all this. I thought I could just easily cover it with these images on top of the layers, but I should have just, while I was deleting these lines, just deleted all this stuff. But we'll go ahead and leave it the way it is. Move him down so we can, there we go, get rid of that. Okay, back to our layers, click on him again, slide this over. So we're just gonna make it, again, I'm not holding shift, I want it to be look a little wonky, a little different than the other one. So we move it over. Now I'm holding control so I can tweak it the way I want. And then we're sliding this over to there. And there's a couple little black things, so let's go ahead and just tweak it just a smidge so it's a little less. There we go. Alright, so we've got some more, another computer bank over here. Different size than this. Now we're going to take and put this guy next to it. We're going to blow him up a bunch, so we're going to put him at 5. We're going to go to tint. We're going to change the color to, let's say, we want it to be a grayish, but we're going to give it a little green hue. There you go. And you can tweak the colors any way you want. You can even use the color selector. Say I wanted it to be a lighter green, I could go here, click that, boom, now it's a lighter green. So I actually do like it the darker green, so we're going to go with like this. There we go. Okay. So now, because the line of sight blocks this other section over here, we can now move it. Going to layer and control, and we're going to slide it a little bit. Yeah, I don't like this, the fact that the black is there. It's so annoying. Alright. And we're going to scooch just a smidge. Alright, there we go. Alright, so again, this is we'll go back. I like going back to the player mode every once in a while, especially with something like this, seeing what it's going to look like when they come in. Alright, and so now I'm going to put another one of these, just a different color up here. So we'll throw him here. We're going to flip it. We're going to make it bigger. We're going to go to 3.5. Change the color to a reddish. And then we're going to turn. I'm going to put him over here. Go back to this layer. Then we're just going to hold control so we can turn him freely. And then slide it over a little bit. There you go. Alright. Okay, so this is not anywhere near the level of awesomeness I normally would want. By the way, this is what it looks like, but this is what the player sees. When you click on here, that's what the players will see. So they don't see some of the extra stuff. Stick him right in the middle. So we've got some computer stuff. So now for these panels, we're going to go into our sci-fi ship area. So we go all the way to the top. We'll go home. And there's ship. So part of the art packs, there you go, Fancy Grounds Starship. Chambers, floors, tiles, brushes, corridors, decoration wings, decoration windows, propulsion, hull parts, probably what we want there. Armaments, just decorations, maybe that. Fills, backgrounds, brushes, decorations. So we have 2 decorations. Let's take a look at the map pack and open. Oops, I double clicked it. Didn't mean to. Okay, close. Okay, so these are those things. That's not really what I wanted, but let's take a look and see if there is anything in here I want. We definitely use some of this for some of the lower levels, like the labs and things. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, go back. Oh, I could have just clicked this. Map pack. Alright, never mind. We'll go to ship. Okay. So now let's look at this one. See what this had. This is what I was looking for. Okay. So now stuff like this. There we go. Perfect. So I can take something like this, slap it in there, flip, rotate. It is 5.7. We're going to make it 3.5. Rotate. And now we hold control to rotate it freely. And again, we're going to just put it halfway through the wall. We're going to stretch it out a little bit. Mostly what we're doing is just covering up the line art that's there. And then we're going to make it a color. So we're going to go to tint. Let's go with like an off yellow. Sort of matching that one down here. That's fine. Okay. Alright, so now we're looking more alien spacecrafty. That's the whole point. Let's go back. Okay, we're going to keep that same theme. Throw this one down here. Rotate. Shrink. I'm going to go to 3.5 again. Hold control so it moves freely. There we go. It's actually pretty good right there. Let's shrink it down just a smidge. Position it the way we want it. This can actually go above or below the thing that's there before. It can just be, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Go there. We're going to turn it just a little bit, move it down. Alright, so let's see if will it fit in that hole. No, it won't. There's too much drawing. Okay. We can then drop it below. Let's see, that was this guy. There you go. Again, we're going to change the color. This time I'm going to go with like a bluish, pinkish, purplish. You want it to be, you want them to be able to see what it is, so I don't want it too dark. There we go. Okay, so again, they come in here and they just don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're seeing. All these, there's some of these different things. As the players have an idea, okay, this is a computer, this is that, but the characters wouldn't. So hopefully you're hoping that your players themselves won't metagame too badly. And I'm actually going to embed this in the wall a little bit, cover up more of that drawing. Alright. Alright, looking pretty good. Let's see if I have a curved railing. Try guardrail. Oh, I'm not, and need to go back to here, to home, to everything. I'll try it again. What I do is I typically, so here's a guardrail. I could do like click, click, make it blocky, octagonal. But I want to see if I have back from dinner. Nice. Hopefully it was tasty. So let's go with railing. There we go, right here. Boom. That's exactly what I want. I'll go ahead and check the next page just in case, but that one is pretty much what I wanted. Yeah. It's very thin, but we can work with this. All right. That's what it looks like. Let's go ahead and drop her in and see what it looks like as we adjust it to fit over here. Yeah, see again, if I should have just... So what I can do now actually is I can just get rid of this layer completely. Since we're going to be putting the lines in here, let's go ahead and get rid of the... if we go back to our floor... Yeah, let's go with that, since we should still have the line of sight. Yeah. So the door's not there, but we can add a door. That's fine. Alright, and we're going to go, we'll zoom in. So the middle section, though, with the guardrails and stuff, we'll go ahead and turn this back off. What we can do with this is we can also change the how visible it is. Shrink this down a little bit. Just a little bit so these points are coming through. So now we can go ahead and change this guardrail, because this is very light and it's gray. Now we can change the color of the guardrail itself. So you make it more, darker, so it stands out bigger, more. Alright, control, boom. We could just do that 4 times. So that's what we'll do. And then I'll show you a trick here on how to make this. So let's go ahead and do this, and then we're going to take this, now that we've changed the color and the size of it, and we're just going to click on this and say duplicate. And now this new one, we rotate it. Move it up. Hold control. Put it where you want it. Duplicate. Flip. Control. Stick it where you want it. I'm actually going to tweak this just a little bit. Hold. Control. And turn it. That, okay. And hold control to move it where we want it. Go. And then we'll take this and duplicate and flip. Bring it down. Boom. Alright, so they do want to have a little hole for them to enter in. So we'll go ahead and I'm just going to do a flavor theater of the mind that there's a part of the guardrail that will shift. Let's go ahead and fix this last railing. Put it where we want it to. a little bit less. Move it. Alright, so what we're going to do then is we're going to add the panel, and that's very simple. We're going to go here to panel, because we want something like this, or something like this. And we're going to go here to add a painting layer. This time the fill, we'll put this guy in here. Boink. We're going to change the color to a little red. A little bit redder. I will turn the green, blue down. And then we use this ellipse, hold down Alt, and make a circle. And then we'll take this layer, hold Control, move it up a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to go back to this where we just were, painting layer, to the painting layer. Click. We are going to switch this to the stroke. We're going to add the stroke, but this, instead of this, is going to be paint black. Okay. Alright, why isn't it doing it? Let's see. Oh, I know why. Okay. Control Z. Control Z. And now we go here to ellipse. Hold down Alt. And draw a circle. So we don't want the circle. We don't want the black to be that big. So let's go ahead. Control Z. Width, we want it to be less than that. So we want it to be, I don't know if we can. Let's see. Point. Zero 5. Nope, you can't. Okay, so then let's go with a rail like this. Yeah, that's perfect. This will be the outsides. Let's see how this works. Alt. We're gonna make this smaller. This one, the height is only going to be 0.5. And let's see what happens. Alt. Okay, why is it looking like that instead of, what is this? Image paint, paint, use the brush. Control Z. Let's go to here, get rid of this. Okay, there it's working. Okay. It's working now, so we'll do it again. Go to the circle. There we go. Okay. Sorry for all the confusion there. So there we go. So now we have our panel that goes up and down. We just need to move it. So we go here to layers and we control shift it to the middle. There we go. Alright, so now that's what it looks like. And we go back to our here to what our players see. So now when they come in, they see this, they have a platform in the middle. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Let's play with this a little bit and see. Go here to the layers, go to paint, go to edit fill. Painting, fill, edit fill. There we go. So we can hold shift to turn it. I like how it's already offset from the main floor, so that's fine. So let's go ahead and go to the how big in the scale. So we'll go to control. So we can make it bigger like this, or we can make it much smaller. Something like that. I think I like in the smaller. Looks more like a platform. Yeah, there we go. Let's make it really small. So that also brings me to our floor, which is here. We're still on the edit flooring. So let's change this a little bigger. There we go. And then we can hold shift and move it so that it intersects that centerpiece perfectly. There we go. And now we go to the grid. There you go. Alright, so now we've got that messed with and changed. I'm going to change this guy. Let's go to our layers. Put our horsey back over here. I want to change this yellow guy. I'm trying to remember which one he is. There he is. Alright, so let's shrink it down. Will shift revert it back to what it was? No, it shifts it. Okay. There we go. So now it's not quite as elongated as it was. I do want it buried into the wall. And turn it just a bit. There we go. Alright, and this little red guy is going to come out. I'm going to take the blue guy, purple guy, move him over, turn him a bit. We're going to take this guy, bring the screen out, shrink it down. This one doesn't have to be as big either now that we've adjusted the floors, fixed the floors. There you go. Alright, so as a reminder of what we're working with, you can come down here in your layers. To the very bottom, and if we bring it all the way to the top, that's what it started with. And now that's what we've got. So actually everything we did with this was pretty much a waste of time. We didn't really have to do that because I didn't think it would be as easy to do this. It's been a while, so I'm sorry about that, but we're just going to delete this. And we're going to go ahead and make this painting layer. We're going to go back to our tint, make it opaque. Okay, because we could see some of the lines in there. Okay, cool. So that's what we're looking at now. We don't have walls here or a door here, so let's add the door real quick. Make this put this away. All right, so we can. I really don't care that the players can't see the walls. Jester Gaming. Change your name again. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I don't care if they can't see when they come here. I don't mind if they can't see the walls. But I'm going to go ahead and throw some up anyway. I'm going to go ahead and put a door here. So let's go ahead and go to our assets. Add that door and we'll be done. We're going to go to airlock. Why the NA? So what's the NA for? Last play in Counter-Strike. Cool. Alright, so let's add some North America. So do you have a South American counterpart or something? Alright, so here's the airlock. Actually, this isn't that bad right at all, just the way it is. Tweak it, change it a little bit. Let's see if this will work. We'll give it a shot and see if we can do that. Go back to our... NA's pretty much could not get Jester Gaming to get the name. Okay, but why NA as opposed to 69 or 77 or XP? I mean, okay, NA so it does count for North America. Okay, cool. I'm glad it worked out that you were able to get it. All right, so let's go ahead and add this. So we're gonna go to our control, rotate it. Rotating again is too much, so we'll hold control to rotate it freely. There we go. Move it down to here. Again, it doesn't have to line up perfectly because line of sight will cut it off. But speaking of line of sight, let's go to our line of sight. Whew, that is almost perfect. Alright, so almost perfect. Alright, we'll go back to here. We'll stretch it out a little bit this way. Actually, we're going to go Control Z to undo what I just did. We're going to rotate it like that. and rotate it. There we go. Alright, so now I want to okay, now I'm going to shrink it and make it more of a rectangle. Okay, now turn it. There we go. Freely rotate it again. Boom. Now let's see if it fits line of sight. We can change the line of sight too if we really want to, but and we are going to change it a little bit just because I don't know what they're doing with this here. Alright, so the bottom line is fine. We're going to get rid of some of these. Don't know what the heck they're thinking. Getting rid of some of this sloppy line of sight. Okay. Alright, so all I need to do is just shift this down a tiny smidge. To there, and that should be perfect. Nope, not yet. Let me fix it again. Let me test something real quick. See if the line of sight is on this thing or not. Layers. Okay, so line of sight is actually on the image. Interesting. I have not seen that before. I don't remember that being the case. So we're going to get rid of all this extra stuff. Put the line of sight in there correctly. This is not that important to do. However, the more lines you have, the more these little dots are called occluders. These little squares. So you don't want to have as many. You want to have as few as plausible, especially when you have so many like this. What's happening is I'm moving this image over the door so that it's making more occluders. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these. Get rid of the door. And that way, that's what's happening, is every time I moved this image over the door, it would make more occluders. So that's my own fault. So we're just going to do this. And we'll just draw the line of sight here once we put the door there. So what was there originally is gone. Now we're just going to take the layer. We're just going to move this down. Whoa, Control Z, please. There we go. Whew. Delete it by mistake. Alright, Shift. We're going to hold Control, move it down. This is the decontamination chamber. Now we'll go back to line of sight, and now we'll fix it. So, okay, good. This is the doorway into this little chamber. That's fine. So now we'll get rid of some of these just because I added a bunch of more when I added these image. Take you and stretch you out. Okay. So typically you can have a couple hundred of these occluders on an image. So honestly, it's not that important with this size of an image that I'd be deleting these. It's just a habit that I like to get into. So Because when you get some of these huge maps, these huge, you know, dungeons that you're working through, it can get crazy. All right, what happened to my control panel? Why did that get screwed up? All right, we'll fix that in a minute. Focus. Let's finish the line of sight first. Line. Change the overlay so it says Jester instead of Joker's Chosen. Just thought I'd prompt that. Work and the family are doing well overall. Thank you for asking. There we go. You've been asking about Kendrick. He won't be back on Thursdays, but he is coming back on Wednesday nights. So you can come say hello to him. Now we're doing a door. Doors are always rectangles. Let me... If his schedule changes again, he might be back on Thursdays, but for now, he has to work Thursday nights, so. Alright, let me try that again. Can't believe I don't remember how to do... Oh, there it is. Okay, I was going to say I don't remember how to do a door sideways, but I just did it. Okay, perfect. Alright, so we've got our door, we've got our contamination chamber. So, let's fix our... There we go. Let's zoom out. And we're going to lock this sucker in place too. There we go. So he's locked. So now as a little dude, we go back here to play mode, to vision. What's going to happen is they will come I'm going to use blade. So they'll come in here. That's what they'll see. They'll just see this doorway, and then I'll open up the doorway. Boom, this door will shut. And that's what they'll see, the spacecraft and the platform in the middle. Perfect. So that's, again, this is what we started with at the beginning. That's what it looked like. And that's what it looks like now. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get rid of the tokens. Switch away from player mode. Cool. All right, so now that's what our floor looks like. we will be looking at the other two floors and doing the same thing. Minimize this. Here's our lower floor. So we'll just do the same thing. We'll add zoom out, make the floor. Cool thing is we can as we want to mess with this crash site, you can make it change the tint. You can change it to where it's mostly opaque, so it doesn't, and then overlay it on what you're building, so it makes it easy to add different things. Alright, so here's the line of sight. Alright, so this is closed off for some reason. Let's see what it says. The room is filled with strange smells and sounds. There's a storage door. Okay, a large storage container is where doctor keeps their samples. Okay, so it's a storage container. That's actually pretty cool. What you can do is we can go back to our assets and go to container, because we have a bunch of cool Starship containers. What is this that I'm looking at? Oh, it's the door, the front facing door to a container. Okay. So we could use that for the container. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, there we go. This is the actual container. Perfect. So we'll do that. Slap this puppy right here. Boink. Rotate. And then just adjust it to fit what they've got drawn there. Again, those black lines are going to be gone, so we don't have to be exact. I do want it to sort of fit the map though, so that's fine right where it is. And then bring it out just a smidge. There we go. And we'll slap it there. It's close enough to what we want it to be. Okay, this desk lab area can go here. We're going to shrink it this way and grow it this way. We can go to table. So you can see we have a lot of cool, we have glass tables, we have coffee tables, bedside tables. I like the idea of like these glass tables over here. Just for fun. I mean, why not, man? Why not? So let's go ahead and do this. Throw him there. He needs to be a lot bigger. Oh, is that a token? It is a token. Alright, so we're going to delete him. We go here to, we can put it as a layer or as a paint layer. I want to put it as a layer so I can adjust it on the fly. We're going to put first one like that. 2 point So we're putting it in as a tile. So click, zoom in. Okay, again, we want to fix the lighting. Okay. Alright, so I was right. Oh, adjust colors. There we go. Put the colors. There we go. Alright, there we go. So now our table. Layer. There we go. We're going to make it wider. A little smaller. I'm going to move that up. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to add a second one. I do like this version. Drop it in here. Click. Put it above the colors. No, Control Z. Alright, I don't know what's going on. We're just going to delete it. What? That's him. Oh, for goodness sakes, I keep clicking the add. This is all user error. This is not Fantasy Grounds by any means. This is me just clicking the wrong thing. Okay. Now let's try this again. We're going to drag our table into here. 2.8 by 2.9. It's where it should be. We're going to put it up here. Click. Okay. Now we go here to layer selection. That's the thing I was doing wrong. And just bring it out to the way we want it. There it is. Okay, now we go here, grab a different table, put him here, go to layer selection, hold control to turn it a little bit, then we're going to lengthen it out a little bit, shrink it, so there's another table here. 2 tables. See what other cool kitchen tables. A med table. I like that idea. Actually, that's what he's supposed to be working on over here. So I'm gonna just delete these for now because I forgot that's what he's working on in this room. He's operating on 2 people, so we're gonna put med tables here. We're gonna put, which one do I like better? This guy or this guy? I think I'm gonna go with the wood one, woodish, brownish looking thing. All right, boom, boom, and make it a little bit bigger. Boom. There we go. Alright, so the people on the tables themselves are different sizes, but just because the people would be different size doesn't mean the tables would be. So I'm going to make these actually both the same size. And we'll slide one over here. Leave him where it is. Alright, so he's in between these 2 tables. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to make this container a little small, a little more rectangular. It doesn't have to look like a traditional human container, but do want it to be a little bit different. All right, now there's some desks, dirty tables, and since table is part of the word stable, and there we go. Now we have some like metal tables. Alright, so we're gonna fill this section up here. Not fill it, but put one of them in here. So I think this would be a computer bank, but there would be a table here with a computer next to it. So a computer, a big table, I like it. Boom. And I'm going to show you a trick. What I'm going to do with this is, because this is just plain like it is, make a copy of it by clicking here, duplicate it. I'm going to go to the second one, offset it just a bit. Come on. Click, layers. Go and offset it about like that. Just a little bit. And then we're going to change the colors. These are zeros. And this is down to 100-ish. Yeah, so like 84 is fine. And then you put it below the first one, and boom, you got a shadow. And then, so here's our computers we were talking about. So we're going to go ahead and put that over here. And we'll turn it so that it fits the wall. See what other kind of tables we have. Overturned tables, a corner table. These are lamps. I like the lamps. Little table lamps. Alright, so cool. I'm actually going to use this. Slap it here. 1.4, 1.4. Just over one of those. That's actually good. I like that. So let's... Whoa, why is it so far down? I want it on top. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this over. Don't want the last one. Stop. Oh, for goodness sakes, people. Hold on. Everybody just calm down. Click. Alright. Go to layers. Go to here. Votive table. Move it up. Move it over. Okay, that's what I want. Okay. So, that's a start. We can do the floor. We'll go here to paint. Stroke. I don't really need I don't want a stroke for the outs. Well, we can find some sort of, let's see, steel. Let's see what shows up. We're going to go with this. I'm going to make this half the size. 0.5. Switch the stroke to fill and go to our panel. Find the one we use for the first floor. You don't have to. I mean, you can use a different floor for each level, but I'm going to go ahead and use the same one. Go to ellipse. Move the image over. Alright, so here's our painting level layer. We're going to start here in the middle. And we're going to go out. So we're going to do Alt. So it's a circle. There we go. And then we go to click here where it says edit fill, and we want this bigger. Control and mouse. And we want these bigger. They were about like this, if and I remember right, and then we do shift to turn it. And then we hold left to move it. And we're putting this sort of right in the middle. So when we draw our center again, I don't think we can shift from image to image unless they change that, and it would be nice to be able to do that. But I don't think we can. Let's see. Layers. Minimize, close. We're going to make a copy of it. And just for S and G, I don't think I can drag it over here. Nope, I cannot. Okay. Delete, copy. Alright, so this is basically 10 feet. We'll do the same thing. Go here to our layers, painting. Go to, okay, so this is here. We want to add, this is going to be, if you double click on it here, you can name it floor. So that way you know what the painting level is, layer is. This will actually go on the bottom. And then double check on line of sight. Okay, good. Alright, so we're going to add a painting layer. I'm going to add the this thing. So we go to our, again here, to our panel, assets. There it is. I thought the red design was in the panel. Alright, where did I find... Oh, it's this. Never mind, I just changed the color. Ho ho! Alright, so let's go here to painting. We can open this up. Yes, so that's what that is. Alright, so tint, color picker, it's really dark, so let's go ahead and go to, let's do it manually again. Try this side. There we go. That's pretty darn close. Alright, let's go for it. It is Alt to make it a circle. That was not what I wanted to do. Alright. Oh, I know why. Control Z. You click the circle, the ellipse, and then hold Alt. Then we go here to adjust fill, and we go control to make it smaller. There you go. Alright, so now we're going to zoom out, look at the floor. Alright, so the floor is about 4 squares. So we need to go to this painting, the floor painting. Make it bigger. It should be about 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, and then we're gonna turn it. There you go. And then move it so it's like this. Boom. Alright, so now they both look similar layouts as far as the floor goes. Let's go back up to here. We're gonna do double click it and name it platform. Alright, so this is the start of our room. We still need to have go back to this. Yeah, you'll see that the there's some other things we'll add, a couple walls and things, but the problem is this is the lower, this is the upper, there's one in between. So we need to do that one first. Alright, let's go back to play. Let's go back to 3. Okay. Click, click, click. General features. Crash site. Here it is. Middle. Alright, so this is the other one we need to do. So we're going to go ahead and pretty much end it here. Now that you have an idea, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add the floor. The walls have already been added. I'm probably going to add the so if I go here to something like this or this, I can use like one of these for the walls or one of this for the walls down the center of the room to separate the room. So things like that. There's walls apparently around here because this is like a water-filled room and stuff like that. So there's definitely a wall here around it, around the middle too. So we'll work on that. Next, even though we've got some of the bottom floor done, we'll close this. So Joker or Jester and Atomic, I appreciate you hanging out with me, saying hi. Tomorrow night we will not be streaming, but we are doing D&D. But definitely come back tonight, Wednesday. See if I can remember what my... It is scared. Nice. So I do... This is for a D&D, even though it's a UFO. This is for a D&D campaign. The UFO looks like this. That's what they find, and they're going to be going through it a little bit. And no, it's this one. This one, yeah, this is the one they found. So they're going to be going through the different levels, checking them out, finding this alien. Probably going to be this guy. I might go with this guy. Not quite as threatening, but we'll see. Figure it out. Thank you for hanging out. Come back later in 2 hours. Watch a little D's and the other D's. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out Jester Gaming and Atomic Hero Squad. But whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.